I guess you love movies. I do too. Hi guys, and welcome back to another movie review. Today we're going to be talking about Logan, and I know this movie review is super late. This movie's been out for like 2 weeks now. However, I had already worked out an arrangement to see it with my friends. Didn't have the money or time to see it before then. Would have done a review of it beforehand, but as I said, didn't get time and didn't have the money. So, this is my review of Logan. I've been looking forward to this movie for quite a long time. Saw the trailers, being rated R, obviously Deadpool's success, massively important for this movie to get released in rated R. And the trailers were pretty bloody, so I was looking forward to that. Looks completely different to what the other X-Men movies have been doing recently, obviously X-Men Apocalypse. Big disappointment for me, didn't really like that movie a lot. To be honest, it was pretty bad. So, going into this movie, looking forward to it, looking forward to something different, and I definitely got that. So this is my opinions on Logan. So firstly, we're going to go into the positives, because there are a lot of positives. This movie is pretty grim. This movie is pretty dark, and pretty low in terms of self-esteem. All of these characters, Hugh Jackman obviously as Wolverine, at this point in this timeline, all of the mutants are gone. It's hinted at kind of how that happens, but really, Logan and Charles Xavier, obviously Patrick Stewart, and there's another guy as well. These are the last of the mutants that they know of, and they're living in the middle of nowhere, and Hugh Jackman's like, and Logan's like a cab driver. He's beaten up. He's older. He's aged a significant amount. His healing powers are not what they were. He's a drinker, a hard drinker. I mean, serious. He's depressed as fuck. Charles Xavier's in an even worse situation. Really ill, and going through some seriously messed up shit too. These people are right down at the bottom. They're at their worst point. And then an opportunity comes up for Logan to take this girl to this sanctuary, and is believed to be a mutant very similar to him. And the main thing that I dug so much in this movie is its feel. Because this movie doesn't try to be a superhero movie like Marvel movies. Now, if you remember rightly, I talked about Civil War in glowing fashion. I haven't watched Civil War since, and the more I think about Civil War, the more I think it's a good movie and not a great movie. The more I think of it as a pretty, another Marvel movie. It's good, but is it really anything amazing on its own? Can I really put Civil War there on its own and say, this movie's fantastic on its own? I don't think I can, but I can definitely say that with Logan, because this movie is a Western. It's a modern Western. It's very similar to movies like Children of Men or The Last of Us, but this movie isn't trying to be like any other superhero movie. It's not trying to fit in all the fan service, all of the characters that all the obscure characters that comic book fans want to see. It's not trying to fill in everything that they think everyone of any type wants to see and cram a movie full of stuff that they think people want to see and then make a bad movie out of it. This is what's been a problem with a lot of superhero movies recently, especially like Batman vs Superman, Suicide Squad, X-Men Apocalypse last year was a really kind of a shit year for superhero movies. And the reasons for that is to cram as many things into a movie as possible and really put making a great movie to the side. And the thing with Logan is it doesn't do that. It just tries to make a great movie, and it happens to have superheroes in it. This movie has deep emotional feeling. The characters are so worn down at this point that you feel for them so bad. And, for most of the Wolverine films, Logan hasn't really, the tension isn't there because he's unkillable. He's like, he regenerates, he heals so fast that it doesn't really matter when he gets hurt. But at this moment, you feel the hits. The action in this movie is brutal. The violence is necessary. The swearing, this movie's it's like, we've got a rated R, we can say as many F-bombs as physically possible. Do we need as many as this movie probably gives us? Almost certainly not, but we have it, I guess. There's a scene with Logan when he's just F this, F that, F this. I understand you've got an R rating. Do we need this amount of F-bombs? Maybe not. I love the feel of this movie. I love the cinematography. I think the performances, they're two of the best performances from these actors as these characters. Hugh Jackman as Wolverine and Patrick Stewart as Charles Xavier. They give the two best performances they've ever given as these characters. The action is visceral. And I forgot to talk about the girl in this film. I'm trying to think of her name. I think it's Dafne Keen. I think that's her name. If it's not, then I'm sorry, but I think that's her name. I should have checked beforehand. I should have done my research. What am I doing in my life? Who plays the sort of child who is like Wolverine, and she is awesome. The action sequences with her in this movie are brilliant. They're so quick fire and awesome. Her fighting style is awesome. There's a lot of blood, and she's really, really cool. She's got very little dialogue, but she does so much with facial expression. I think she was excellent in this movie. Really, my only negatives come with antagonists, with villains. I'm not going to go into too many spoilers, but the main villain's okay. He's decent. He's very sort of snarky. He's an asshole. I kind of get behind him, but really, there's another villain which I won't go into. Who seems a bit cheap to me. I mean, he's okay, but you know, we've seen this type of thing in superhero movies before. But overall, Logan was a blast. This was a gruesome movie. Really, really great. I'm not going to talk about an ending because everyone seems to try and talk about the ending of this movie, and it's a great ending. It's powerful and emotional. I'm not going to talk about it in detail because I'm just going to end up going into spoilers. But overall, I love this movie. I thought it was really, really great. It's one of the best superhero movies I've seen in years. And I'm going to give Logan 9 out of 10. So there you go. That's my very late review of Logan. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, subscribe, drop your comments down in the section below. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Goodbye.